Yo, what's up my kings and queens? Welcome back to another video. I'm excited for today's video. Today I'm going to be taking you through overthinking is keeping you weak, and here's how I beat overthinking. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is that overthinking is what happens when action is missing. Overthinking isn't intelligence, right? It's fear pretending to be analysis. People don't overthink because they're deep thinkers, right? They overthink because either they don't have enough data or data, however you say it. They don't have enough data or data, right? They haven't taken enough reps, or they want certainty before action. Now, the truth, right? Overthinking is equal to too much emotion. It means that there's not enough evidence, right? Because evidence only comes from action. Action creates clarity. Clarity kills anxiety. And the one something I want you to understand is that slow progress is progress. Right? Let me give you an example of this. Posting my short form content every day, right? So whether my shorts are getting, let's use specifically YouTube, right? Let's say my YouTube shorts, they can get anywhere from 2,000 or 200 views, right? But they perform either way, right? Now, some days, there's bad days, those shorts can get 20 views, bro, right? Now, I don't know which video is going to do that. Right? I don't know which video is going to perform well. I don't know which video is going to blow up. I don't know which YouTube video. This might be the one that finally gets me to blow up and get 20k followers or 10k, right? Or subscribers. I don't know this. I'm only going to find out after I've put in the work, right? I wouldn't know it firsthand. But slow progress is progress, right? Whether I'm getting 20, 200 or 2,000 views on my shorts, I am there consistently. I post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't post Friday and Saturday, and I post Sunday, right? Because I post at 6 p.m. Everyone's out Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. But I show up, right? I did actually miss yesterday. Yesterday was a Monday. I actually missed yesterday. But because of it, I'll just do a video on Friday and Saturday this week. Then that way I'm doing 6 videos anyways this week, right? The next thing I want you to understand is that overthinking isn't intelligence. It's fear. Most people don't overthink because they're smart, right? They overthink because they're scared to act, right? The next thing I want you to understand is that you're not confused, right? You're just inexperienced. You don't have the experience about whatever it is you're pursuing, right? So you don't need clarity, right? You need reps. Clarity comes after the action, not before. Let me give you an example. For many of you watching this, you might be a gym goer, right? For the type of content I create. As a gym goer, we know that when you first started, like the first 6 months at least, you didn't know what the fuck you were doing, bro. I didn't. I had an idea and I was learning from social media, but I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I didn't know what to do. Three tricep muscles, bro. 3 different level chest muscles, 3 parts of your shoulder muscle, right? I didn't know all this shit. I didn't know how to target them. I didn't know the exercises for them. But the more I showed up and the longer I stayed, the clearer it got, right? So what did I say? You don't need clarity, you need reps. Clarity comes after action, not before. So the exact same thing happened to me with gym. I got clarity on how this should work after I started going, not before. I didn't find out how all of this works before I got in the gym. Hell no. I found out as I went through my journey in the gym, right? The next thing I want you to understand is that thinking more won't fix a lack of evidence, right? You're anxious because you don't have proof. But why don't you have proof? Proof only comes from doing the work. How are you going to expect to get proof when you haven't put in the efforts or the work? I'm talking about your own proof. I don't care what someone else did. I don't care what your brother did, your cousin did, your mother did, your father did, what they drive, what house you live in. It doesn't matter. What have you accomplished? What have you put your mind to, right? The next thing I want you to understand, right, is that progress feels slow because you're watching it too closely. So the reason I say this is because people obsess over results. So when you check progress every day, everything feels slow. When you zoom out, everything compounds. Let me give you an example. My content again, perfect example. As a content creator, everyone goes through this phase where you're always you obsess over your analytics. Maybe not your analytics, but you check every day to see if you've got followers, subscribers, whatever it is, right? Comments. I don't really check likes, but I check comments and subscribers and followers, right? Every creator goes through that. And at some points I was so unfulfilled, felt like I wasn't growing fast enough. But when I took a step back, I realized, like, holy shit, I'm starting to grow faster and faster and faster. I just didn't realize it because I was too busy focused on watching my subscriber counts 24/7, or every day I'm looking at it. So I'm seeing one day 1 subscriber, one day 2, one day 3 subscribers, one day I lose a subscriber, one day 4 subscribers. I don't know, but I'm seeing the stuff and I'm feeling like I'm making progress, but it's slow progress. But over time, bro, the one day I went from 177. I still remember this, bro. This is about 2 weeks ago. I was on 177 subscribers. Do you know what I'm on today? 244. 244. Let's do the maths. Where's my calculator? Do I have a calculator here? So I said what? 244 minus 160. I got a whole ass 67. A whole 67 subscribers in about, okay, it wasn't 2 weeks, it was about a month, so 3 to 4 weeks, right? I went from 177 subscribers to 244. Do you know that my first 50 subscribers took me nearly 4 months, around the 20th of April, because I started my YouTube channel on the 6th of January. So 20th of April, just under 4 months, it took me to get my first 50 subscribers. I just got 65 or 60, whatever, in the past 2 to 4 weeks. Isn't that fucking insane? Right? So the reason you're not understanding and seeing your progress is because you're watching your results too closely. Right? The next thing I want to tell you is that your emotions are lying to you. Right? Your emotions don't care about your future. They only care about comforts. Right? Your comfort zone, staying comfortable, sitting and drinking the same stuff, eating the same stuff, having the same habits, watching the same shit, garbage, stuff that's not going to get you anywhere in life. By the way, I'm proud of you. You're watching this video, which means you're trying to get somewhere in life. And I'm not saying I'm proud of you simply because you're watching my video. I don't really give a fuck about that. If you are watching Hamza also, I'm proud of you, bro. You know what you're doing in life and you know where you're going to get. Keep it up. By the way, guys, if you haven't, please make sure you smash this like button. Yeah, because I'm really here trying to help you guys become the best possible version of yourselves. The next thing I have to tell you, right, is that consistency beats talent, clarity, and confidence, right? I don't rely on confidence. I rely on showing up even when my mind is loud. Bro, let me tell you something about this YouTube video specifically and about where my mind is right now today. Today is Tuesday, the 16th of December, right? I went out last night because one of my childhood friends came to come see me, right? We went out to a place to play pool and drink. He wanted to leave at 11. I wanted to stay longer because I wanted to play pool. I ended up staying till about 2 a.m., right? I'm not that fucked up, right? I was about tipsy, right? I was alone, so I couldn't get that fucked up, of course. I was tipsy and I stayed longer to play pool and I ended up meeting business connections, right? I made 6 new people. I met a DJ. I met a random guy that I was playing pool with, but he's a banker. I met another guy I was playing pool with. He gets sound for events. And I met 3 other guys that were together that all do solar, but they all work separately with solar, right? I built my network last night. Of course, I was busy. I slept it. Okay, I got home about 2:30. I slept at 3:30. 3:30. Do you know what time I woke up today? I woke up at 9:15. How long is that? That's about 6 hours of sleep, just under, or just over, something around that. I'm on 6 hours of sleep today. I'm here recording my YouTube video. I've already recorded my short form video for today and for tomorrow, right? I've got the scripts for my short form videos, right? My YouTube videos, I don't use scripts, right? I just write down points on to discuss, right? Because it's more authentic, right? I am locked in, bro. Do you see my mind? I'm not relying on confidence, right? I'm relying on showing up because I'm tired as hell today, right? For all I know, this YouTube video could have performed better if I recorded it tomorrow, simply because my brain would be performing better because I would have gotten better sleep, right? So I don't rely on the confidence to show up. I show up, right? But there's something you need to understand. When winning becomes a standard, it's easy, bro, right? I mean, for me, it's a standard to me to post every day. It's a standard to script videos and record YouTube videos. It's a standard to edit and work, grind on my business, build connections and network, right? It's a standard to me to sit here and record this video. Why? Because I told myself I would, and I am a man of my word, right? I try my best to live up to being a man of my word, right? That is standards. Is this who you are in those moments when you don't want to do the work? I sure as hell didn't want to sit down and, okay, the YouTube video I don't mind, but I had to go work on my short form scripts. I sure as hell didn't want to sit down and do that. Nothing. I didn't want to, genuinely. But why did I do it? Because it's a standard. It doesn't matter what needs to be done. It needs to get done. How can I expect to run my own business if I can't get myself to do shit for my content on my own, right? For example, if I can't get myself to sit down and do what I needed to, right, script the videos, how can I get myself to sit down and outreach to clients, email clients, call clients? Then I need to set up a meeting with them. Then I need to run through the meeting. Then I need to set up a contract. Then I need to start running strategy adverts for them. Then I need to develop a strategy for them. Then I need to develop a funnel for them. Then I need to make sure I'm getting results for them. Then I need to update them, right? How am I going to have the discipline to do that? Because I sure as hell I'm probably not going to feel like doing stuff on a lot of days. How am I going to have the discipline to do that if I can't sit down and script my videos now? If I can't sit down and do the work I don't want to do now? Right? So everything you're going through, every other entrepreneur has gone through, right? You have to understand that. So the next thing I want to tell you, overthinking disappears when your standards rise. So we're getting right to my point I was talking about. Standards is the reason I am so consistent. When your standards are high, you don't debate with yourself. You execute. I didn't debate with myself to come sit down and script videos, to sit down and come record my video. You know when I would actually debate with myself? When I had to study for school. I had to sit down and study. I debate with myself. Maybe I could start tomorrow. I could do an hour today. I could do 20 minutes and then finish this because I need to prioritize the subject. I used to debate with myself. Things were optional because I don't really care about school. I don't believe it's going to get me to the dreams I have, right? No rich person has ever said university is getting me where I need to be either. So yeah, just saying. But you understand what I'm saying, right? When your standards are high, you don't debate with yourself. You simply get up and do the work. I am at the Virgin Active 7 days a week, or gymming or training 7 days a week. I might miss one day, like on my tracker when I scan to go to kickboxing. I missed actually day before yesterday, but I didn't miss a workout. I missed going to Virgin Active. I stayed at home and fucking worked out. While I was watching YouTube videos on my business, I pulled out my weights, pulled out my barbell, pulled out my dumbbells, started lifting, bro. I was doing arms. I'm like, you know what? I don't need the gym today. I only had 2 hours of sleep that night, by the way. And I've done it before. Gone to the gym on 2 hours of sleep, right? I'm both different. When winning is your standard, you don't debate with yourself, bro. You execute and you get this shit done, right? The next thing I want to tell you, and I'm sure you've heard it before, is that consistency beats talent, clarity, and confidence. What? Listen to that carefully. Consistency beats talent, clarity, and confidence. I don't rely on confidence. I rely on showing up even when my mind is loud, right? I don't care what is going on in here. Shit needs to happen. Work needs to get done. That's like saying, I woke up feeling tired today. Okay, no. I woke up feeling like shit because I only had 2 hours of sleep last night. I don't want to go to school today. Now, to you, that's okay because it's school and you don't give a fuck about school. Is that what you think about your business? Is that what you think about your dream you're trying to pursue? You don't give a fuck about it? You don't want to go? Right? Nah. But let's say it's a normal day. You woke up and you went to school. And you say, I don't feel like going to maths next. I don't feel like going to Afrikaans next. What happens? You do it, right? Why do you do it? Because you're at school. Because you have to. You have a timetable to follow. You're not allowed to go bunk class or you're going to get in trouble. Right? You showed up because you had to. The school made it a standard for people to go to where they need to know without whether you want to or not, right? Same thing needs to happen. I made it a standard to show up, script my videos, record my videos, record this video here today. I made it a standard. That's why I do it. And the last thing actually that I have for you, action answers questions, thinking never will. Hear that again. Action answers questions that thinking never will. The further you go, the more answers you get. Thinking keeps you at the starting line. Let me give you an example. Last example, guys. Sorry, no, I'm giving a lot of examples here, but this is so that you see I have the credibility to teach you, that I know what I'm talking about, just so you don't think I'm some young guy sitting here doesn't know what the fuck he's saying. I know what I'm talking about, right? I'm better than most people my age. No offense if you are my age. Thinking keeps you at the starting line. I used to create gym/motivational edits, right? Then I rebranded and now I create self-improvement. I started that in September of 2025. I'm pretty sure that's September, or yeah, about September, around there. I was thinking about starting that type of content since around about May. So how long is that? May, June, July, August, September. 5 months. I spent 5 months questioning whether I should start that content. And where did it get me? 5 months later, fuck all anywhere else, bro. You know what's the only regrets I have about my content? The only regrets I have about that type of content is not starting earlier. Everyone goes through it. I tell people that want to create content, yo, start. As soon as you can, start, bro. One day you're going to look back and you're going to regret not starting. Start today, now. Because as soon as you start to learn more, right? The more you put yourself out there, the more you get, the more questions you're going to have. But the more questions you have, the more answers you get. And the more answers you get, the more you learn, right? And then the more you learn, the more questions you get. And the more questions you get, the more answers you get. The more answers you get, the more you learn. The whole fucking cycle repeats, right? I, at my stage in my content journey, now end of December is a year and 6 months, have some questions I don't know how to answer yet. But I have answered questions that I had a year and 6 months ago when I was first starting. I would not have the answers unless I started, right? I would not understand the content I'm creating now unless I started in September. Imagine I was only trying to start it now this December. I would have missed out on all those results. I just said, 60, 65 subscribers in 2 to 4 weeks, from 177 to 244 subscribers. Bro, I would have missed out on that simply because I didn't hop on the opportunity on what I was thinking to do. But as soon as I did what I was thinking to do, I started seeing the results. I was right. My theory was right. This type of content is performing better on these platforms. I'm performing better on TikTok. I'm performing better on YouTube. IG had died for a while. I started getting 1, 2, 3 likes each post, each reel. I said, fuck it. I don't give a fuck about it. Let's grow TikTok and YouTube. IG will catch up because of those platforms. What happened? I didn't even need to do that, right? IG is performing. YouTube is performing. TikTok is performing. Now what's happening? My IG is slowly but surely starting to perform better and better and better and better, right? But I had to take that knock. I had to get that time where I was getting 1, 2, 3 likes on a video, right? Everyone fucking goes through it, though. Don't hold yourself down to the analytics. Guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. If you know a friend that's going through something similar and you think they would enjoy this, please send them this video. As always, guys, I'm rooting for you and I'm watching from afar. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.